Hello, friends and foes, fays and fiends, and welcome to the very haunted Quests in Chaos. If you hear my spirits chuckling in the background, don't worry, they'll resolve themselves soon. My name is Alondra Heilman, aka Lady Bedivere, and tonight I shall be your very sleepy heist handler for keys from the Golden Vault, as we continue our level 10 adventure, Party at Paliset Hall. However, before we get into that, a couple little pieces of business. First of all, as always, the Golden Vault is sponsored by the Deck of Inspiration that I did not have at the ready. The Deck of Inspiration is a wonderful supplement that you can use to reward your players for clever roleplay or awesome story points, or just because you feel like you want to throw a Tarrasque at them and they need some extra help to make up for only being level 5. We will also potentially be using our very cool initiative trackers. If they decide to do a shenanigan, you can find the cool fillable PDF of these that we use on Drive-Thru RPG if you look up Quests in Chaos. It's a very handy tool that I have forgotten for the last, 6 episodes, so I wanted to shout them out. Most importantly, in honor of Starter Set Summer School, which is going to be our summer programming where we're playing through a bunch of TTRPG starter sets, mostly that are new to us, we're going to be doing a massive giveaway. We are going to give away, I believe, a copy of every single starter set that we will be playing over the summer. This is including, but not limited to, because we're still seeing the schedule, I know we're doing Tales of the Valiant. I know we're doing Rune Quest. I know we are doing Arkham Horror later in the year. This is going well past summer, y'all. Summer school is all year round now here on Quests and Chaos. I know later in the year we will be doing Vysen. There's going to be other stuff that we're going to announce as we go. I've heard rumors of possibly Alien. Many things on the table, many things giving away. We will also be giving away a copy of Ticket to Ride Legacy if you're more of a board game friend. And of course, we will be giving away copies of the Decks of Inspiration so that you can inspire your players. The giveaway is going to go live on King Sumo on June 1st. I believe this is the website that we are using to track the giveaways. You can get extra entries for these giveaways by following us on our social media, signing up for our newsletter, and subscribing on YouTube. You can go to bit.ly/QNC Kickstarter, or you can visit questsandchaos.com for all of this information, probably in a much more confirmed way than what I'm doing from memory now. But yeah, if you don't remember or can't find it, pop into our Discord or onto our socials and just ask us and be like, hey, I heard there were giveaways happening. Where is that? And we will point you in the right direction. It's going to be all over our social media very soon anyway, if it's not already. Inspiration cards. I just showed you the Deck of Inspiration a bunch of times. We have a handful of cards. We currently have 4 cards. These were gifted to us by our wonderful patrons. The players have already grabbed and assigned them. And if you want more cards to be in play, you can support the team by giving them bits in the chat, which can be converted into cards if you all want more cards, or can be used to purchase additional D6s to add on to their rolls. I haven't actually explained what the bits do in a long time. I had to do that off the cuff. That was dumb of me.
That was great. That was a really good explanation.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, if you're new here and jumping in the second episode of the level 10 module of the campaign, that's what we're doing.
Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you for being here. The tavern upkeep is currently, I believe, still sitting at 69%.
Nice.
We would love to get that up to 100% by the end of the month. So if you feel like throwing us some ducats so that they can ruin all of my plans by successfully passing every single skill check I make them make, throw those in the chat, and our lovely TD for the evening, the wonderful Ren, will leave me horrible notes on the prompter that say, hey, they've ruined all of your plans. It's truly my favorite thing. I make that joke. I up-level all of the bad guys, to be clear. It's a 5-person table, and these people all know how I run games too well, so they're really good at foiling my plans. I believe, I don't even think I already had clicked away, and I believe I already have, of course, a bit to award. 500 bits from Duke Fleeg. Thank you, Your Grace. Joseph.
Oops.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah. Good job. All right. And now with all of that business out of the way, let's do a very brief recap, and then we will jump into this, since I know we are already starting later than usual. Thanks for sticking around. Last time we gathered, the Varkenheim Golden Vault team discussed the implications of the true names they had been sent to glean from the con artist known as the Stranger, as well as the fact that the Stranger apparently has both the true name and the face of their beloved bartender Dave. Feeling uncomfortable with this situation and unsure of the Golden Vault's involvement with it, Stuart left to plumb some of his remaining contacts in the Watch to see if this tied into any other suspicious things happening around the city. There's been a lot of gang activity, y'all. Meanwhile, Huey suggested that perhaps the team could all lay low from the Golden Vault for a bit while they decide what to do with these names by taking a job that had been proposed by an old friend of his. So, making their way to the Feywild, the team met with Feifel, a satyr who now works as a personal assistant for Eliphas Adulaire, a noble of the Feywild courts. Through Feifel, Eliphas had sought to hire a team to steal a diamond shard solitaire necklace from his own wife, the retired adventuress Zorhana Adulaire. He believes something about the necklace has changed her personality and may be endangering both her and the guests at their upcoming grand winter solstice gala at their vacation home-ish in Paliset Hall in the Feywild. In order to facilitate the robbery, the team has been granted invitations to this grand winter solstice ball so that they can investigate and hopefully get this gem and take it as far away from here as possible. Along the way, they also ran into Verity, another operative who they have occasionally worked with, who has been sent to the ball under the name of his patroness, the Countess, a high-level archfey, who has asked him to investigate the appearance of a known spy/con artist who also appears to have an invitation. The team hung out at the bar, met a fairy fashion designer who hooked them all up with some sick fits. Sloane gave everybody fake identities to operate under, except for Verity, who is already operating under his own carefully crafted identity. And now the party is on the ferry across the Mirror Lake, just now approaching the glorious lit facade of Paliset Hall. This is a beautiful Fey mansion, Fey-crafted mansion. It appears to be of marble, but also of rainbows, of fairy floss, of gemstones, and this weird shifting beauty that always sort of ripples through it. All the doors and windows on the front facade are open and light streams out. Little fairy fire lights and dancing lights swirl around, torches outside that come down and line the courtyard area, which is centered with a massive fountain. You see, even as you're approaching and this boat is sort of docking, you notice that the fountain is designed in an interesting way. It has like steps and almost like a little landing, like it itself would be a place where you would dock a boat, even though it is contained in this fountain. Verity, being of the Feywild, you would know that this fountain probably functions as a portal and is normally what is used as transport to and from the hall. You suspect that this little like ferry situation is partly to make it easier to check everyone's ID by keeping them at the docks while the Winter Wolves check invitations, and also maybe just for show and flash. But yeah, you arrive, your boat is very full. There's several other guests who are on this ferry with you, including Adira, who you know is the moniker, alias is the word I'm looking for, the alias of the con artist tiefling Metal, who you've been looking for, who you were chatting with. There's some musicians, there's a few other guests. Taz and Gemma are currently disguised as twin supermodels and have now gleaned a loyal, if slightly derpy follower, the 20-year-old nobleman who just wants to find love for the first time and is hanging on your every word. He has the makings of a grand Instagram husband. You've trained him well in the last 20 minutes. Huey, you have met some of the musicians and have chatted with them a little bit, as well as just other admirers of music in general. Everyone's getting into the party vibes. You can see as you pull up that it appears that there are other guests who are already here. You're guessing some of them are probably higher level, more powerful fae who had ways of kind of bypassing they had other ways of having their invitations checked to get in here a little bit earlier. So the pre-gaming is going strong here at Paliset Hall. As the boat docks and the little gangplank extends, where would you like to begin?
Before we leave the ferry, I would like to ask Siri, who's my familiar,
Yes.
to follow Adira and ping me if she's up to anything suspicious.
Great. A slightly disgruntled little glowing pixie-type creature crawls out of Verity's pocket and goes, yeah, okay, that one?
Yes.
All right, team go! Snaps, turns invisible. And you kind of sense, you've got a little bit of a tether to Siri. You sense Siri sort of like drift off of your shoulder and kind of start probably hovering around Adira. Everybody else?
Sloane's gonna get off, but follow very closely behind the sort of cadre of talent.
Walking in like we own the place.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
absolutely walking in like we
Full
own the place.
stompy model walk. Yeah.
High knees.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Obnoxious. Really just
Real.
trotting up.
Yeah.
As you just start runway owning down the gangplank, you see right as you hit the edge of the courtyard, there is a beautiful shower of crystalline snow, illusory snow, that starts coming down and then parts like a curtain for you.
As it should.
And as you kind of cross into this, you can kind of see that you have basically reached the point when the illusion sort of activates when people arrive. You can see that now, as you step forward, everything that you have been seeing from a distance turns into a winter wonderland. It definitely is that thing of you only get to see the true decorations when you arrive. Otherwise, you're just seeing the kind of general illusory facade of the house. Minute you step into this courtyard, just there's snowflakes and ice crystals, beautiful ice sculptures of strange creatures prancing and cavorting. There are beautiful silvery garlands and wreaths that bedeck the house. Everything is snowing, but you never feel the snow. It's not wet, nothing slick. It doesn't touch you. It's a perfectly good temperature. It's just all this illusion to celebrate the winter solstice. You also see on these steps, as you get past this fountain, kind of come with this big driveway looking situation, there are steps that lead up to the main house, and stationed on those steps, 2 at the bottom, 2 at the top, are 4 more of those horse-sized wolves, big white wolves, piercing blue eyes, that appear to simply be, there's two standing at the bottom, 2 sitting at the top, and they appear to just be there to ensure another layer of checking invitations. Some people, as they start to walk up, are flashing their invitations. Some people are just booking it straight in, and they get a little bit of a head turn. But nobody is stopped.
Okay. Stomping up those stairs.
I'm
yeah.
I'm not flashing it. I'm just walking.
Yeah.
Are you guys one at a time, or you're next to each other doing that perfectly synchronized?
Yeah.
Beautiful. I love it. Your new little follower is sort of scurrying along at a distance. He doesn't want to insert himself too much into the entourage. He doesn't want to get in trouble. But he is definitely kind of a few steps right behind you, keep trying to not let you guys out of sight, and very excited. He does fumble around and shows his invitations. Again, doesn't seem like he's done this before. Clearly is a nobleman of some sort, but this is a lot. Feywild nobility is a totally different ballgame.
Yeah.
as we're headed down, have you seen Funny Face coming down the stairs?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna do a like pivot, pause, wait for Caden to catch up to us, and just be like, photos.
Oh, 1000%. He immediately just screws up. Glances at you. Is like, Ace, is that? They want photos. Is that what you? Okay. And then just immediately like full on like drops into that like the like Papa one leg squat like very like stabilized like he's really
good
getting
boyfriend.
into it.
Yeah.
Perfect Instagram boyfriend.
Yeah.
He is on it.
He's hired.
Yeah. No, I mean we're certainly keeping him as long as he's willing to do that.
Verity and Huey, do you want to also be part of the model's entourage, or do you want to use this as an opportunity to like maybe be a little more subtle in your approach? You don't have to be.
I think I'm probably just hanging out towards the back in case anyone. My goal is to try to be there and lend some authenticity if anyone questions the rest of them.
Yeah.
Yes, excellent.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna be subtly unsubtle and just chat it up with the vocabulary.
The
People of the evening.
Yeah, the party guests.
The guests.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the dryad who you were talking to before when you guys were waiting for the ferry. I don't think I gave you her name last time. She would have introduced herself by this point. Her name is Lycoris, Lycoris. And she would have mentioned to you, she used to work at Paliset Hall. She was the head of staff for many, many years. She retired about 5 or 6 years ago, and she gets an invitation. She's given an invitation every year because Zorhana really loved her, was sad to see her go, and it's not just to attend the party, but also so that she can come back and see all of her friends on the staff and see the Adulaires. Like, she was very beloved. So she's always, like, very honored to be able to come back and have this chance to, like, see everybody.
Interesting.
So, you guys stomp your way up to me. Grab myself something. You make your way up this set of steps. You are not stopped, of course, by the winter wolves. You so clearly have real invitations. How could you not? With a walk like that.
True.
Or I'm looking at the wrong map. That's why I can't. I was like, what is this? I need the one with my numbers on it. Is the problem. Okay, great. You enter into this like foyer area. You can see there are a handful of guests who came in ahead of you who are walking through. Some are starting to loiter. This the front doors are look like they are made of stained glass with like silver fractal patterns that represent like snowflake patterns. All very beautiful. All very much following that kind of golden ratio vibe. There are garlands made of wind and frost that are sort of like funneling along this entryway to help direct guests with like almost like a gentle breeze. Again, cool enough to not disrupt the illusion, but not like bone-chillingly cold. Just like pleasant, especially because you know you're going to be in a packed ballroom full of dancing, and it's like very, very well climate controlled here. Everything in this foyer is alabaster marble. White, silver, beautiful. There's a little bit of the magical snowfall that this time sort of ends above everyone's heads, so you don't have to worry about whether it's real or not. And there are little plinths stationed all along that have more of these little like ice sculptures, little like ice creatures in various states of like frolicking and revelry.
My brain is going White Witch Narnia, so I'm like, what are those? But I think they're fine. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Oh, look, there's Turkish delights.
There are a couple of waiters that are rolling around that have little trays of like little like amuse-bouche, you know, hors d'oeuvre situations. There's a cracker with something very fancy squirted onto it with like a
Grabbing
single
that.
chive.
Shoving
There's
it in
something
my
else
mouth.
that's just like many layers and perfectly square.
Wow.
Go.
Okay, Edward.
Gemma and
take
Tass
that
both
roll.
immediately like, what did we say about eating the food?
Hey, Sloan knows nothing about the Feywild, so unlike literally every other character that I make.
Yeah. It is funny that this is like the one character that has no Feywild affinity that I've ever played with you.
Yeah.
Having. As you continue your way, unless you're planning to linger in the foyer for any reason, you're able to continue your way through. You see there are these two grand staircases that kind of swirl as you pass through the foyer. And then you reach this kind of little like middle hallway situation. As you pass in there, on both sides of this, you see these like paneled. It's gotta be wood, but again, it's like silver leafed with like snowflake patterns. We're getting a little bit Arendelle here, but everything is in white tones instead of the like Viking brown. You see these panels. One side they are closed, so it's closed off. The other side they have been like pulled open, like this folding door, and you can see that there's like a coat check here where you can leave your coats, your bags, your oversized weaponry that you don't want on the dance floor, but you needed to show up with as a show of like might and prowess or whatever. Frolicking is too strong of a word, but I need you to have the word in mind as for the movements of this satyr who is behind the counter, passing out tickets and taking these things. Looks a lot like Feifel, but a little bit older. Has the Mr. Tumnus like nose spectacles kind of perched on, not wearing the giant scarf this time, is wearing the like bow tie collar and shirt front vest situation. Still no pants. These are satyrs. Don't get crazy now.
Is he also played by James McAvoy?
He is played by James McAvoy now, as opposed to Feifel, who was played by James McAvoy back then.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, a little bit grayer, a little more distinguished. Still very cute. And so you see he's very politely, you know, exchanging tags, exchanging pleasantries. A bunch of the people who are coming through seem to know him. You know.
Anybody want to check a coat or anything? I can take it to the coat check.
I think I'm all
I
right.
don't think I have anything to check.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I know, I feel like we were all looking very fashionable, very good, very perfect.
I'm
Yeah.
not going to part with Michael Jackson.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
critical. Can't leave that in
We
there.
got it. We
For
got
the
it.
vibe. As you are approaching this, you see like Horace, because she's been sort of like walking near you here. Like Horace actually sort of like, you know, runs up and walks over. You see him light up a little bit, and there's a little like, you know, like hands clasp and like, hello, how are you, darling? You know, sort of moment. Exchange. They clearly know each other. Like Horace will wave you over Huey and just be like, Huey, this is Oren. He's the new head of staff since I left. We've worked together for many years. It was such a deserved promotion. Oren, which name did you actually give her, I realize?
I gave her the name Ambrose Belafonte.
Ambrose, sorry. I don't have all your fake names here. We went over them beforehand, and I did not write them down, because I'm a fool.
I will send
They're
you.
in, they're in the chat.
I think I say they're in a chat somewhere. I just don't think it's the one I have open. Ambrose, this is Oren. He took over. Oren, darling, this is Ambrose. He's a musician. And Oren is also, oh, well, welcome to Paliset Hall. It's so lovely to have you.
Well, so, I gotta say I very much welcome to... Let me redo that.
Take two.
Thank you for the welcome to the party, Pally.
Of course. If there's anything I can be of service, please don't hesitate to ask.
Well, I suppose the only thing I need to ask about here is I've never seen such quite a immaculate place. I mean, I'm sure you spent quite a bit of time here with the other esteemed guests and host.
Well, I do run the household. I generally live here. Occasionally I venture out, but mostly everything we need is provided for us on behalf of the Lord and Lady of the Manor. They're very kind that way.
Passing notes in class.
It's funnier when you're passing them to the teacher.
Yeah, that's true.
So we do have two very generous hosts.
Oh, yeah, yes, yes, indeed. The Lord and Lady are very kind. Insight check.
First roll.
Look, sometimes I remember that I can make you roll dice, and then I don't have to make decisions about what you get told. The dice do.
I'm calling a 3.
What'd you get? What'd you get?
I may be psychic.
I love it.
no.
Tell us the number.
So, yes, I indeed rolled a 3. My actual insight is 7.
7. Okay.
Oh no.
He seems like a
We
very...
have no bits.
We have one
We have
bit.
one bit.
Should I use it?
You've already declared.
You've already declared.
Well, I guess I haven't told you what the response is. So if you want to use it now, you can.
Should I, or should we save it for something a little more?
Yeah. What you get the sense that like that felt like a very diplomatic answer, which could be a cover, or it could just be because this guy is a very good employee who knows not to talk out of turn to the rich and powerful guests, because he is, well, he may be the head of household, he is but the help.
Oh, no, I completely understand. I mean, loyalty to your superiors is quite a big thing. That's why I hold such respect for my manager, Ace Coyle.
Oh, yes, very important to forge excellent relationships with those who are working above and below you. Nobody likes someone who's hard to work with.
I can assume so, and I'm sure that goes not just from top to bottom, but bottom to top.
Oh, I should hope so. I wouldn't ever think to advance in my station if I was rude or ineffectual in my job.
Well, I do hope in that case, the lower lady have never been rude to you as well.
No, they are generally quite pleasant. I'm sure everyone has their off days. It's gonna happen all night, you guys.
Yep.
It's gonna happen all night.
Oh boy.
Well, maybe not. He's stuck at the coat check unless you guys do something crazy, so.
Well, I do hope there are less bad days than good.
Oh, certainly. The Adulars are quite a wonderful position to obtain. I know many people who would be incredibly grateful and would probably do terrible things to maintain a position here. I speak metaphorically, of course. Nothing like that would ever happen. They'd probably get murdered. You know how the Fae are. He says this very matter-of-factly. Horace just kind of nods knowingly, like, yeah, you know how it goes.
You're metaphorically starting to get a little more... great.
Well, if you haven't spent much time in Feywild politics, maybe it seems a little heavy, but that's honestly the least of our problems around here.
Well, indulge me then. You know, as someone who is not of the Fey realm, tell me, like, what exactly is this, mucho gusto I don't need to worry so much about?
I'm sorry. I don't think I follow.
So I'm from a very, very far away land. I say many adieu things. But, so, if they're not so terrible, I mean, indulge me, like, tell me, like, what would I consider to be terrible that isn't so bad here?
Well, that would depend on where you come from. If you are a denizen of the Hells, then perhaps you would find everything about the Feywild too soft. If you are from the material plane, then you might think some of our ways are a bit peculiar, particularly dueling culture and some of the loyalty tests that occasionally people are put through. It really depends on where you go from. We're not quite as straight-laced as some of the outer planes, but we're also not quite as violent as some of the lower planes. We're mostly about parties and having a good time, and also kind of gossiping and screwing each other over behind our backs.
Oh, do tell me some gossip then.
I would never, sir, as the head of the household. I do not indulge in such pleasures.
Try to do a performance check. Maybe just a little time.
You would need to do a persuasion check at disadvantage.
Persuasion there.
Disadvantage because this guy is very good at his job. And he does not want to get fired.
That is a 12.
You said 12, and I thought it was going to be 20. Like, wow.
Yeah.
Should I re-roll that lower dice? Or no?
Add a 6 to it. What it would be? No. Okay. He looks and he goes, I never indulge, of course, in gossip. It would be unseemly. However, if you wish to find gossip, there will be many on the dance floor who would be happy to share all of their sordid details with you, especially if you get them sort of liquored up beforehand.
Liquored.
Open bar, drugs cost.
Ah, yes, the key to everything. Booze, booze, and more booze.
Ah, so you have been here before.
Maybe some gossip about that, but I do appreciate your time. Excuse me while I dance the night away. I do some stupid shit.
He kind of like nods politely to all of you, sees that none of you need to check anything, moves down the line to the next folks. As he does, I have some bits to our players who are off to some kind of start. These are 2 bits from Red Dead Coquette.
Thank you.
Christy, and we're gonna go.
Nice.
You got it.
Got it.
We're also loopy. Our aim's gotten better.
Wow.
Great. You continue moving.
Did you learn anything interesting?
So apparently, if we want to have a little information about what's going on, we might want to get some little dance buddies kind of liquored up on the floor. And then they'll start spilling their guts like... Well, I'd rather not make any more worse imagery right now.
Probably a good idea. Okay, all right. Get people drunk.
Oh, no.
So you've passed this code check. You know that there are those 2 spiral staircases that are just behind you if you duck back out that way, or you can see as you're moving, ahead of you is the grand ballroom. You can tell it's the grand ballroom because there are already just an absolute bunch of people milling around. You see waiters with more of these trays. You see people dancing already. You see little like highboy tables stationed around, everything draped in like it. All of the table settings look like beautiful snow has like drifted and just fallen perfectly over these tables to create a smooth top, and these like, gentle, snow falls down the side, twinkling lights, crystalline snowflakes that are sort of hovering in the air, lit by dancing lights. Just everything really beautifully decked out.
Wow. Can I? Yeah, this is sad. Can I tell, like, is this all illusion magic? Is it?
Even without activating like a detect magic or anything, you just kind of have the sense that this is probably illusion magic. A lot of it is like the base level stuff. It's like when you're watching a green screen. Like the basic, like there are real tables there, there are real furniture pieces there, but all of it is bedecked with illusion magic to give it this winter wonderland aesthetic. Because honestly, magic much cheaper than interior decorating. Either that or they've already paid the high cost. It could go either way.
Okay. Well, we have our questions. Do we want to split up and talk to people? I think you should keep. Who is the dryad that you were talking to?
Oh yeah, his name's Orin. Guy that kind of looks like.
No, that's the satyr.
Oh,
the dryad. Who's the dryad you were talking?
Warren was the
Like Horace.
coach.
I completely misread
Like
that.
Horus. Anything interesting to say?
All I know is that she's actually worked here for a pretty good long while. She's no longer employed, but apparently she was good enough that She keeps getting brought back here with these little party shindigs.
Oh. Okay. Okay. So she probably will know some stuff about. Yeah. So maybe you stick with her, and try to get her drunk. I don't know.
Yeah.
Dance with her.
Yeah. Think as long as I keep looting it up, we'll be all good.
Okay.
Just for clarity, in case this got mixed in the shuffle, because I know I'm doing a bad job of conveying information too. Oren, who is at the coat check, took over Lycorus's job. He was promoted
Yes.
to her position. In case I didn't say that, thank you. Great. Do you want to continue on to the ballroom? Do you want to backtrack and go up the stairs?
I think the stair. Did we get the sense that the upstairs was off limits to us?
Not those stairs, no.
Upstairs was okay, but the guest bedroom
There's like a
and the
balcony.
main bedroom were off.
The stairs that you saw, it looks like those ones at the front are gonna mostly take you to the balcony. So if you want to observe from above / see and be seen on the balcony, that would be your access point there. There are obviously other things up there, but the main thing would be you just go up those stairs, ignore all of the doors, and go straight ahead to where the balcony is.
Taz would like to get up on that balcony and just start clocking entrances, exits,
That's a good idea.
getting all of the pinpoints, security,
Finding
anything like
every
that.
bathroom.
So
I think I'll follow Taz up there.
Taz is just really concerned
I'll find the powder
that
room.
Opal and or Pearl has a bladder condition that she needs to get checked out.
great. What we're gonna do is we're gonna switch to these maps. I think I mostly managed to redact anything you guys don't need to see on these. There's another map that has something on it that players definitely shouldn't see, but is not redactable and is the only thing with the grid, and I'm very upset about it.
Oh no.
Stay tuned for the After Dark if we have one.
When they do that, or when you get the ones that this is the player version, but the secret door is
The secret
very
door is
obvious.
Yeah, the trapdoor panel is very clearly marked. Yeah.
I'm looking at you, Horde of the Dragon Queen.
So, we try to pretend we don't know. We're just bad at it. So, okay. Let me find people. Okay, so Taz is going to head upstairs.
Wow, Taz. Did you cast Enlarge Reduce?
So,
Yes.
for those of you playing along at home, and everybody else already knows this, these maps are very much not to scale because that would have taken all of my printer paper. So what we were doing is we were basically doing representative maps so that we can keep track of who is where. And if we get into a fight, there will be a fun scene change.
Love it.
A thing that we've definitely never done on this show.
What?
Fights and stuff.
What?
Oh, I thought you meant scene changes.
Oh, no, I do those all the time when I have run out of things to say, and I'm just like, screen win! So,
Verity?
that is Verity.
I love the
That's
representative
the
of Verity with the
cape.
cape.
It's great.
I was
So
gonna
good.
say,
Hat.
it's Jarlaxle. Shh, don't tell anyone. But it seemed appropriate. So you guys are going to go upstairs to kind of the balcony and start scoping for your quick escape and also just look for anybody shady.
I'm gonna just stand behind Taz for a second and warg into Siri and see
Oh, sure.
what Adira is up to.
Great. Hold that thought. We'll come back to that once I figure out where everybody else is. That's delightful. I love that. Sloan, Huey, Gemma, where would you guys like to be?
The
You
powder
can-
room.
I was to say, you can absolutely all stay together, but you don't have to.
No, I'm looking.
The powder room.
The powder room.
I'm probably gonna stay on the dance floor trying to get more information from Lycorus or any other individuals who are clearly drunk off their asses.
Great.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay down there with Huey, and probably just mingle with people, chat with people, bullshit a little bit.
Amazing.
See if anybody sticks out to me as somebody who's close to the couple, and then I'm also looking for what's his bucket, Elphus.
Elvis, yeah. Cool. And where would you like to be, Gemma?
Dancing, flirting, slapping food out of everybody's hands.
Just angry mom.
Ah.
Amazing.
No.
Hey, you went earlier. It was so good.
No more. One was enough.
Okay.
Are either, I'm guessing probably not you. Are you taking Caden with you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Get some good action
Yeah, yeah,
shots.
yeah.
You don't. I was like, you don't have to. He will like scurry off and find places
Absolutely.
to be.
Yeah. No.
But
Yes.
like, if you want to, he is
Red-
basically your. You've basically adopted him at this point, so I'm calling him essentially like a minion for you.
Cute.
Yes.
He will function for you guys
Kaden,
until you choose
insta-minion.
otherwise. Sorry, making sure that our friends at home can see the map. I didn't mark my edges. Oops. That's on me. Great. So yeah, you guys are down partying. You two are up above. Verity, you're sort of right behind Taz, or maybe have a hand on the railing as you just sort of board in. Great. Let's handle that first, and then we will go around room and see what happens. You are looking through Siri's eyes. Siri is sort of hovering, so you're getting this sort of like perspective. They're clearly like kind of flying along, following Adira. You see Adira is down on the dance floor.
Okay.
Is kind of making their way through and around people, makes their way over to an unoccupied table. You see, does the drive by like glass of champagne off of a tray without really stopping. Post up at the table, trying to do the very casual lean. You know, you got an arm on the table, you're holding the champagne, you're just like, huh. But you see, as they sort of take up this position, trying very specifically to look very casual. You do notice that they take that ring, the one that like looks weirdly like an eyeball, and they very specifically like kind of switch fingers, so it's on the index finger that's holding the champagne. And you see them just sort of like doing this. Just kind of like looking around, like holding the glass, occasionally bringing it to their lips like they're going to take a sip. You don't think they ever actually sip it.
That would make sense.
But this ring, ironically, the one day I'm not wearing mine to use as a representation for those of you watching at home, but this ring is like always like almost like on a scan across the room. I'm just giving you this because you have an incredibly high perception as it is. And you're also very much aware of this person's deal. So, yeah. That's...
Where is Adira in relation to our party members that are on the dance floor?
Oh, my maps.
Oh no, a map!
My map's escaping! Adira is... These are random representatives. I brought all of my most colorful minis. They're not necessarily correct races or classes or anything. They are just super representative so that we can see them easily in color. Just stating that out loud before anybody starts freaking out about what's going on. I thought I had a tiefling in this box too. I have one, but I'm saving it for a different character. So we're going to say this is Adira. We're going to put Adira over here in this corner. You guys are just kind of generally milling around on the floor, right? This isn't super, super specific. It's just kind of keeping track of who's where.
Yeah, I'll back out of Siri and then physically look and see if I can spot Adira from the balcony. Okay.
Yeah, you can see them down at this kind of table in the corner, just like, oh, so casually watching the dancers with their champagne.
Just taking a big photo.
Yeah, big panorama.
Yeah. Panorama with her eye ring.
Yeah.
Yeah, a totally normal eye ring. At that moment, you are all instantly distracted because DM Feanor's party shows up and they are rocking it. Thank you, Raiders. Welcome.
Dance with all of them.
Yeah, welcome to the Gala. This crazy rowdy group of like raver minotaurs just like rolls in. They got flowers up in their horns and their hair. They got glow sticks on their wrists that are probably just like magical effects or whatever. They come rolling in. The DJ ? Instantly drops a beat for them to make a grand entrance. And immediately runs up and starts getting in the middle of all of this.
Slaps food out of Huey's hand.
Yeah. No, just immediately walks in.
No.
Thank you for the raid, DM Feanor. We are playing Keys from the Golden Vault. This is the party at Paliset Hall, and we are just infiltrating the party to start doing recon before the jewel heist begins. Great. So yes, you see all of this happening. There is chaos on the dance floor.
Chaos on the dance?
We're not yet.
I was gonna say, can't wait for the murder.
Right.
Yeah, just say we're not gonna murder yet, but we will
Not
get
in
there.
for the last hour.
No, we're currently on the ballroom blitz for anyone who needs to.
Amazing.
Yeah. Beautiful, wonderful. Let's just go around the table really quick and let everybody have a chance to do a thing if you want to so do a thing. So, Christy, we're just gonna move around in this order. Sorry.
Yeah, Taz is, while we have a general layout of the building, she is clocking like distances between walls. She's checking where doors are, exits, windows. If anything looks weird or unsettled, and if anybody in the crowd sticks out as sticking out.
Yeah. No,
Sticks out as sticking out.
No, I love that. A couple of things just that you don't have to roll for, just freebies. The balcony is 20 feet off the ground,
Okay.
just for purposes of if you needed to jump off of it.
That
Say.
is what I wanted to know.
Yes. These two, there are like two very tall windows on this back wall. They are like the 40-foot high, they span from the floor to the ceiling in this big vaulted ceiling ballroom area. They look like they are decorative. They also look like they are probably fragile, and again, you could like bust through them if you needed to. With the normal amount of window busting based damage, they're not anything that clock as particularly like magical or
Standard
reinforced.
defenestration. Got it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right.
Easy to chuck a table or a chair or a friend through.
Yeah.
If worse comes to worse. They do.
Sorry,
Make a
Caden.
grand exit.
Sorry, Caden. Everything is like the whole building is kind of raised up. So like if you had to jump out a window anywhere, even on the first floor, there would be a little bit more of a like you're going down below ground level or below floor level. You're kind of up on the top of the like mound.
Yeah.
Because like that's what gives it this grandeur sort of like
Sure.
palace like
Right.
effect, right? So just being vaguely aware of the higher up you go, if you jump or fall, there might be more like say fall damage involved.
Weird.
Yeah, I know, just a thing to keep in mind. We will get back around to personnel who catch your eye.
Cool.
As we get
All good.
around the table. Sloan, Ace, what you up to?
I am schmoozing and looking for. I just want to say elfis.
Elephas.
Elephas. Like elephant, but elephas. Okay, cool. I'm looking for elephas and I'm schmoozing and I'm talking to people and trying to get a sense of like who knows whom and what some of the connections are here.
Sure. As you are looking for Elephas, are you actually asking about him, or are you just trying to like clock who might be this guy?
I don't want people to know that I don't know what he looks like, so I wouldn't ask anybody directly about what he looks like.
No. But do you ask like, if he's around or anything like that?
Yeah. Like, have we seen him yet tonight?
Great. Okay. Cool. Go ahead and give me. This is kind of just for
Schmooze
funsies. Yeah, give me like a. Give me a schmooze check to see how things are going. Performance maybe, or performance deception. I would allow.
Okay. Well,
Pitch me another skill if you
I
got.
can do deception. I
I'll
can do
throw a
that.
guidance
That's
at you,
pretty good.
which I can do at a range.
You can do it at range.
Is it It's a verbal component though.
Guide.
We all have message.
How close is Sloan to me?
You guys can be as close or as not as you want. Gemma is probably off, like bumping it
With the
with
Minotaurs.
Jenna's
with the
in
Minotaurs
middle
and
of a
anybody
mosh
else.
pit.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, you can easily just sidle up
Started
to
the
Sloan.
mosh.
Yeah.
I believe everybody could also send Siri over to just like boop. Also,
Yeah.
you're in a crowded ballroom. People muttering
Yeah.
weird shit under their
Okay.
breath is not gonna catch
Yeah, I
that.
have a
Cool.
60-foot range on guidance.
Cool. Tap. Love that. Okay. And that gives me a D4, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I like that. You could just yell like, "Yeah, party girl!" across the hall and it'd work.
That's so true.
The guidance. Look, the number of characters we've had who give either bardic inspiration or guidance by winking at each other. Like, we're pretty loose on the rules here. What'd you get?
12.
12. Okay, you don't think you've scored any business deals yet tonight, but like everyone is pleasant. Like nobody is shunning you. Nobody seems to be clocking you as not belonging here.
Okay.
Which is probably the most important thing, right? You're probably not at the top of your game as far as like actually like you have come to some of these jobs that you've done before and come away with legitimate other business deals like your publishing contract. Right. So like, you know.
No, I'm doing great.
So you've definitely done better, but you're chatting some people up. You ask a couple of people after Elephas, and at one point, one very not all here, sort of like half elf woman in a painted on dress, possibly literally.
I was gonna
unclear.
ask.
It's the Feywild. It might be actually made of paint. Who is like hanging. Again, almost literally, she's got like one arm, like she's on her like date's arm. He's this like very stoic orc man with a little man bun. She is draped and like to the point where he's got his hand on her arm and it is keeping her up.
Okay.
But he's being very subtle about it. And she's like, I think he was here earlier, but he said he had like a headache and went upstairs. I don't know why he'd have a headache. It's great here.
Yeah, it's very nice here, for sure.
Yeah.
The Winter Wonderland is really, really getting me.
No, it's really good. I was here last year. It wasn't nearly this good.
Oh, really?
Yeah, better every time. Hey, can we? I'm thirsty.
I think maybe she needs a drink.
Her date just kind of looks at you and just like nods a little bit and goes, all right, hon, let's go get you a drink. And he just like reaches down and like arm around her waist, but like picks her up under one arm and just kind of scoots her off.
Bring some water.
He gives you the like thank you nod.
We've been here like what, 5
5
minutes?
They pre-game. They pre-game hard.
You have not been here very long.
The pre-gaming they did is wild.
I'm gonna say that over the earring. Wow, people are pre-gaming really hard tonight. Okay, apparently, Elephas was here earlier, but he went upstairs to lie down because he had a headache. So if y'all can get an eye on him, that'd be great.
Got it.
Yep.
Messaging both Taz and Verity.
Yep. Cool.
Actually, probably messaging everybody that.
Yeah, you could just broadcast that out. Gemma, you doing anything?
I'm networking with these Minotaur friends.
Yeah.
Cute.
I am establishing the distraction for later.
Oh,
so
for sure.
I'm like,
you're the messy twin.
yeah, absolutely. So I'm like, oh my god, later if I see you again, I have some really good stuff in my bag
Oh,
that
my God.
yeah.
You have the good stuff.
the good
With
stuff.
the good stuff.
Really
It's so hard to find someone to say there
I
was the
know.
good stuff.
And people, they just don't understand. They get
No.
that like subpar quality, and they're
No,
like, "Look,
do
it's amazing."
you see how big I am? Do you know how
You
much
need
stuff
the
it
good
takes?
stuff.
I need the good stuff.
Yeah, quality over quantity, people.
Oh, amazing. Oh, yes. No, we shall. He reaches up into his like flower crown situation and pulls out. Are you currently in the warm or the cold rainbow jumpsuit? Warm clothes or cold
Let's go
clothes?
warm.
Okay.
You can be cold. Do you want me?
Yeah,
to
that's
cold?
fine.
Sure.
Like
Yeah.
you can kind
Warm.
of, it kind of shifts it over. He pulls out like a pink and an orange flower and like twines them together and makes them into almost like a little corsage situation.
Oh my God.
Offers them to you.
Thank you. Thank
cute.
you.
Yeah, no, it's great. You are super
In the buttonhole.
Go ahead and give me. I will let you pitch. Do you want to do performance, persuasion, deception, whatever? Like, what skill do you want to use to just like really ingratiate yourself with the party?
I'm
guests?
happy with performance or persuasion if you have a preference.
Let's do persuasion.
Great. Not a great roll, but it is a +8,
Hell yeah.
so that's 17.
Yeah. You are very quickly becoming the life of the party. You also get the sense that word is quickly, but like subtly for this place at least, spreading that you have mentioned that you have access to the good stuff.
Yeah.
Which is definitely encouraging more people to come and dance. Like, everyone's being polite. Nobody's just straight up asking, but there is definitely like a sudden flood of interest toward wherever Gemma is.
Cool. I'm also training Caden.
Oh, absolutely.
time.
He is like he is like at your beck and call.
Yeah, I'm assuming he's already holding your bag.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just sitting there like,
Just like
yeah.
huge, glowing, sparkling anime eyes as he takes everything in, happy to do whatever you ask. Just occasionally they're like, this is how people find love. This is what people do at parties. Like, well, that was that bounce back.
Destroy this child.
No, it's like that was his original goal, but he's also very like he's getting a very swift education in like social hierarchies of the Feywild. Lots of people asking him questions because he seems to be attached to you, and so now they want to be friends with him. So he's also making a lot of friends. I'll roll for.
It's all about networking, Caden.
He got a 12 on the die. He's probably got a little bit of a modifier. He's a noble, so like he's done pretty good. He's holding his own. He's all right. Huey, what are you up to on the ballroom floor?
So I'm chatting up with like chorus.
Oh,
you
sure.
know, doing occasional like tunes to kind of loosen people up, get them relaxed.
Yeah, there is a DJ and a live band here, which you can play with. They are absolutely down for jam.
So before I do that, as I walk by Sloane, I do a quick little. Why do I not know what the hell I'm doing? Enhance ability,
oh,
Nice.
and I use Eagle Splendor to give us both advantage on charisma checks. Yeah, you just hear a little.
Yeah. I'm definitely still here and still listening. I put something away that I shouldn't have. Don't worry about it.
okay.
Oh, I do have one quick question. Do they hear that little caw that happens when I use the spell?
It's a winter bird, obviously.
I mean, it's really noisy in here. I'm gonna. How subtle do you want / need it to be?
So,
Well, in the sense of, like, do you care if people hear it? I guess is the better question.
while they would care, he probably wouldn't think anything of it because he's never been fully stealthy with it. He's always been kind of like using it at show times where it can be like grandiose and kind of.
I will, if you want to, I will say you can roll maybe a deception check to see how well you can like. I would also allow sleight of hand actually to see how well you could time hitting your swift riff that gives the caca with something else that the DJ is dropping, like with a beat drop to help mask it a little bit.
13.
Okay, 13. It's audible, but you do time it pretty well with like the bass drop, so it could have just been like a weird fluke in the
Like
music.
a producer tag?
Yes.
Yes. Absolutely.
I love that.
Great. You are chatting up like Horace, who is down there with you. She loves the music. She's grooving. She's having a good time. It is very fun for her to be here as a guest. Like, she's not super comfortable, so she's not like networking a lot or anything. That's not her scene. But she's having a fun time being able to just like eat snacks, drink a glass of wine, and not be working the event, which is what she would have been doing as an employee. You do see there are a couple of other people that she sort of waves who come over and say hi that you think might be other like former employees who are in good enough standing that they are here as guests. They are not really like networking. They're not socializing. They're not wheeling and dealing. They're just kind of here vibing. Like they're the ones who are like following the waiters around, you know, who have like a huge stack of cocktail napkins from all the little like things they've grabbed.
Is Gemma smacking foods out of their hands?
No, they live here.
Shasta.
They can
I
rot.
need you aware. Aware.
Yeah, she's like, if they get goofed up, that's fine. You need to be sober. Ish. Cool, great. Cool, you're hanging with the girls. I'm sorry, I got very distracted because the mini that I had in my hand was not in my hand anymore. Are you asking her about anything specific or just vibing and seeing who she talks to?
Yeah. So tell me, you got any stories that I should know about?
Not really. This isn't, they're pretty nice for rich people. I know it sounds really bad, but like I don't. I shouldn't be saying you're rich people. Probably you seem incredibly famous, but you've been to a lot of these parties, right? You know how it can get really out of hand really quickly, and everyone's sort of. They've always been really nice to the staff, to the employees. They throw these really great parties. Obviously, they're not. I mean, there's obviously a little bit of politics and social convention involved because there always is when you have something like this. But they're like, they're trying to make it a thing. It's all a big show. At the end of the day, right? Everything's a performance.
Oh, of course. I mean, but it is all about the glitz and glamour to get everybody in the mood. Speaking of which, I am very curious. I'm sure, being that your previous employer was of the adventuring type. So tell me, any interesting stories that maybe she told you, or, of some of the famous treasures she might have found that really stood out? Because I imagine she's very proud of her accomplishments.
Oh, I mean... of course. If you want to see some of her greatest treasures, you could go to the art gallery.
Huey's eyebrows just instantly.
Would you like me to show you? I'd be happy to tell you all about him.
If it wouldn't be a bother, I would
Oh
love to learn about
no!
the
I'd love
places
to. Let's grab a glass of a glass of wine or Fey hops or something. yeah.
Yeah, I just.
Gemma from the other side of the room is just like,
I can see you.
I must keep my wits about me for my
Gemma's
performance.
like grinding on a minotaur.
no.
That is an image I did not expect to see.
You're welcome. That is my gift to you this night. That's the only one you get.
Yeah, reminder, Gemma looks like Taz right now.
Yeah.
It'll be so funny later.
And it's
I'm
like,
sure this won't backfire at all.
No.
Never.
and when you talk, I'm just like, is that Taz?
I didn't know that about Taz.
That's the other fun thing, of course, is I don't think anyone in the party can tell you two apart unless they talk to you.
Yeah, probably.
Just because of the difference in personality. From a distance, it's just like, well, one of them's up there and one of them's down here. Shrugs.
I don't know
Sloan,
which one
Sloan,
Taz
you know.
could be.
I was going to say, objectively, Sloan should at least know the difference.
Oh, yeah. Sloan 100%.
Sloan would be like, yeah.
If you thought about it, Huey, you could probably figure it out, since one of them looks like they're going to murder you, and one of them is looking for exit routes.
Yeah.
But
One of them you can't find?
yeah.
Yeah, one of them's looking like Matt Murphy. That
So-
still could be Taz.
But yeah, like Horace will grab another, we'll like trade her empty glass for full glass, and we'll take you, if you want to go with her, to the art gallery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Here.
Nice job, Huey.
Fabulous. As you make your way over there, and everybody is sort of like scoping out or whatever, this is the point. Everybody can do this because Huey will say you're doing this on your way out as well. I would like everybody to give me a perception check. Yeah.
Nice.
And this is specifically on
Nice.
the denizens of the ballroom.
Well,
Denizens of the bar.
How do I keep rolling sevens tonight?
Makes your math easy, question mark?
Yes, it does.
perception.
Yeah, that is an 11 for me.
15.
11, 15,
29.
29.
Yeah.
Taz can see through walls.
That is, that is a natural 20.
Yes, okay. Even better.
23.
23?
20.
20.
Sorry, just dawned on me. Passive perception is higher at
What is your passive?
14.
Okay, great.
Oh, my passive is 18.
Great. Okay. I knew a lot of people have higher passive. This is I'm taking both because there is a little bit of and you are actively looking around for people acting weird or people who don't belong here, right?
Yeah.
So, Huey, you've seen a lot of people who look very interesting. You've spoken to a handful of people. Some people have approached you. Your fit is very good. You've gotten a lot of compliments on Michael Jackson. You haven't really clocked in anything specific, and right now, in this moment, you are leaving the ballroom, right? You are being ushered out, and you're falling like Horace as you're like, oh, yeah, let's go talk about and look at, apparently, some of the treasure that Zorhana has gained over her years. So you don't really notice anything. Verity, I think you're a little bit distracted from what's about to happen because you're really focused on Adira. But in being focused on Adira, you do notice that this, like, the very, like, hyper casual demeanor suddenly tenses up a little bit.
Aggressively casual.
Yeah, aggressively casual. Just there's that sudden like shift, and then the sudden like now both hand, like the glass goes down on the table, the hand is like really explicitly like placed, and they seem to be like very much watching for somebody who you can't see because of your angle, but who just came in
Interesting.
to the room. There's another wave of guests arriving. Gemma and Sloane. You're both looking around, and as basically what happens is that as this crush of new guests kind of arrives, and there's like a bunch of mingling and a lot of like, oh my god, you're here, like type moments, the crowd shifts, and so you're suddenly getting a better angle on people, and so you're gonna see this, but Taz, you're absolutely gonna lock in on it with 100% certainty first. You see as the crowd kind of shifts and moves, there is this couple that's kind of over in this, like, a corner here that kind of has to move and adjust as, like, some friend group, like, reconnects with their second wave. And they kind of move around to an angle where you can see them. There is, it looks like a dwarven man with an elven woman. The dwarf, super intricate, like braided beard, braided hair, everything. This is probably the person who catches your eye, Sloane, and draws you to this. You see all this crazy intricate braiding. This is very ancient, like this is someone of status, right? Or at least that's the look that they were giving off. That's what this braids read to you. Probably has some tats poking out from under the rolled up shirt sleeves that would also maybe indicate status. The elven woman who is with him, very tall, slender, has like long kind of like shimmery like purple green iridescent shift hair going on that seems to kind of go with this like winter wonderland vibe. It's giving a little bit of that like icicle iridescence or whatever. She's very, very pale. She's wearing this shimmery kind of crystalline dress. That's probably what catches your eye, is this like crazy dress that looks like it's made out of gems.
I'm stealing that later.
But the thing that Taz clocks immediately, and I think you two aren't far behind, is that as this couple kind of moves and the woman sort of turns, she sort of had her back to you up until this point, you immediately recognize her, even through her disguise that she is using to alter her features. This is Priscilla. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is where we are going to take our break. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back in probably not more than 10 minutes. We're going to try to keep it short. Stick around. Drop your theories in the chat. We'll see you all shortly. Hello and welcome back to Quests and Chaos. We are in the middle of a heist, ? Our team is in the Feywilds, hiding out and on a job. They have been hired to steal a necklace that belongs to the lady of the house. A giant winter solstice ball is being thrown at this Feywild mansion. And currently everyone is a little bit, well, 3 of the 5 of you are a little bit in shock because you have just recognized Priscilla Tyga, your former Golden Vault handler who has been missing for quite some time now with no communication. She does not fully look like herself. She has sort of iridescent, shimmering green-purple hair. She is wearing a dress that looks like it is like just cut out of a gemstone or something. Her features are like subtly altered. Her eyes are more of a like crystalline purple than their normal blue. The 3 of you who have identified her are enough used to things like glamour magic and stuff like this. You because you're a nightmare, Taz, and Gemma and Sloan because you also have some magical affinity.
Because we're also nightmares.
And you're also nightmares. Everyone in this room is a nightmare.
Yeah.
You can tell that there's like clearly, like most people in this room probably are, she is using some sort of illusion magic or disguise magic to alter her features, but it is very clearly her to the 3 of you. Verity, you are focused elsewhere, kind of trying to figure out where Adira's attention has gone as this new crush of guests has entered. And Huey, you have been whisked away by your new friend, like Horace, to the art gallery. I think for the purposes of this, because we are splitting the party, we're going to do my favorite tactic for splitting the party, which is that we are going to roll initiative. We are not in combat. We're just going to roll initiative for how the camera pans around and giving you each a chance to, like, take an action, have a conversation, do a moment. If the 3 of you who have all locked onto Priscilla wish to combine your initiatives at any point, you can just let me know. So, but we're just doing this so that I can give everybody equal screen time as you try to figure out. You also have not yet spotted the Lord or the Lady of the house. You know that they are both present, but you haven't seen them yet. Verity, what was your
17.
Great. Taz.
18.
Sloan?
21.
Great. Gemma?
12.
And Huey.
22. Sorry, 23.
Great. Beautiful. I kind of wanted to do this anyway because it's fun to prolong the suspense of the bomb drop. So we're going to start with Huey.
All right.
Let me do the correct thing and read this off the computer so I'm not like fully hunched over into the ether and you can hear me on the mic. You are led by Lycoris into this room. She takes you back out. Trying to look at the map, make sure I describe this correctly, and I'm on the wrong page as usual.
Bom, bom,
She leads you back out of the ballroom, through that coat check hallway, into the foyer, and kind of loops you down to the side hall. You pass a doorway to a room that looks like it is full of silvery gray chaise lounges, sapphire couches, and there's a bunch of guests that are sort of like sprawling along here. This looks like just some sort of like parlor sitting room area. She moves you past that to a slightly smaller room where the walls are covered in these beautiful, vibrant paintings and these tapestries that depict all of them depicting the seasons. You know, of course, that the Fae courts align very heavily with the seasons. In our version of the world, the Seelie court occupies the spring and summer, the Unseelie occupies the autumn and winter. And so there's a lot of this imagery depicted across all of these things. There are also these little plinths and display cases and little like alcove cutouts that have objects in them, 3-dimensional objects in them. As you look around, you see something that looks like a sort of like, you know, slightly corroded bag. These are all kind of like on pedestals. Some of them are under glass. Some of them are just like the slightly corroded looking bag. You see a little I should have looked this up to make sure I was describing it correctly, but like a little almost like green stone carved owl figurine on one of them. You see a set of massive looking gauntlets in a little alcove that are sort of like positioned to look like, you know, like action shot style or whatever. They're on these little holders. You see a beautiful like elven crafted quiver with magical looking runes and inscriptions across it. Several tapestries, about 8 paintings. There's another statue, this one carved out of like a black stone that has little red stones inset to make the eyes that looks like a mountain goat, sort of like one hoof raised, curved horns. And there is a beautiful, like, slightly iridescent blue carved statue depicting what appears to be like high elven or Eladrin man, with this very like sharp, angular, tailored jacket, sharp hair, the shoulders going or whatever. It's like everything about him is very angular, including his features, his ears, everything. So these are all of these various things that are displayed. If you want to examine anything more closely or ask about anything, you are welcome to do so.
There's a lot to take in.
Yes, it's beautiful here. Many of these are treasures that Lady Adelar stole or was granted in rewards for her various adventuring back when she was still working as an adventuress. It's really quite a collection, don't you think?
Oh, it is indeed most impressive. Although I've got to ask you, what do you think is probably her greatest treasure that she ever acquired?
Oh, well, the story goes her favorite, the one that she's sung about in ballads is the shard solitaire. That's the necklace. She's wearing it tonight. She usually wears it at the party. It's like it's a huge diamond set in a silver setting. She really only brings it out for the winter solstice ball.
Well, I can only imagine that. Only certain people probably handle it every now and then.
Oh, it's really just her. It lives in her vault. She has this is the display room, of course, but she has a vault upstairs in her chambers where she keeps her most prized treasures.
That does make the most sense. Now I am curious if so no one else would be able to touch anything like any of these, I'm assuming.
I wouldn't have any reason to handle them. I think she and her husband have set up this room with the items that they wish to display and show off to their friends, occasionally utilize for themselves. Some of these have great magical potency, from what I recall. Only the things that she doesn't wish anyone else to handle are upstairs. The story goes, I don't know if you've ever heard of it, the story goes that she infiltrated a coven of hags and stole from them their greatest possession, a gem that sparkled in the sunlight with all the colors of the rainbow, which is a very poetic way of saying a diamond, I guess. So I believe, I personally, not that I have any experience with hags, and I hope I never do, but I would imagine that would be all the more reason not to display it publicly. That seems like the sort of thing that somebody would want back if it was stolen. Most of the items here, I think, were gifted in thanks or reward from great adventurers. The gauntlets there were spoils of war after she helped slay a malicious ogre dictator. The bag there was a gift from a druid, I think, that she assisted in something. I don't quite remember the story. These paintings here of these that show these tiefling children playing through all of the seasons. She really loves them. She's had them on display. It depicts the 4 seasons. I think they were painted by some very famous archfey painter, maybe.
Would I have any historical knowledge of such a painter?
Go ahead and roll me a history check.
Noise.
with your
Don't fail me now.
with your sweet, sweet history.
What did I just ask? I'm going to use my. Is it okay if I use my inspiration token?
Go for it.
Yeah. Right, add a d6 to whatever you rolled.
Oh, I thought it was a reroll. Never mind.
No,
No, rerolls in Cthulhu.
Comment withdrawn.
Just use
You,
it. already
you
used
haven't
it.
said anything. I will let you take it back if
screw
you
it.
don't want to.
I will.
Just do it.
Do it. Do it. Do
No
it.
guts, no glory. That's super cocked.
It's almost.
God damn it!
If it lands flat, but it's just stacked, I'll let you keep it. But
There we go. So that would be a 14 total.
What?
14. Are you asking about any specific item or just generally just the history of this?
Specifically who that painter could possibly be. If I have
Who that painter could be. You would recognize them. I'm not going to give you an actual name because the name itself is not actually relevant. What is relevant is that this is a famous painter. You have heard of them. They are an Eladrin. So they're like a high fae. And part of the reason why they are so famous and why their paintings got such renown is because they have had series of paintings, many of them probably similar to this idea of like a set of 4 that depict the seasons. They have had those commissioned by several high-ranking members of the Seelie and Unseelie courts. This is a little bit unique because the Seelie and Unseelie courts aesthetically try to differentiate themselves in a weird sort of power play, not because there's any actual reason to. They're literally just doing it kind of to fuck with each other. You know, if somebody's theme this season is Art Nouveau, the other one's gonna go Art Deco. If someone is doing Cubism, the other one's gonna do Pointillism, right? So the fact that this painter just paints so good that a bunch of people were just like, yeah, screw the fashion or the theme, I just want this guy's work. Very significant. Very costly. And you look around, this one, they're meant as a series. You see spring, summer, fall, and winter. It's kind of the same set. It's one of those classic, like, you know, you see the same hill, the same tree, there's a little edge of a building, and each of them depicts these 2 tiefling children playing with each other in the various one. You know, in the spring, they're like braiding flower crowns. In the summer, they're, they're like chasing each other around almost like a game of tag. In the autumn, they're jumping into a pile of leaves. And in the winter, they are building like a snow tiefling.
I see.
Very cute.
Since we're looking at these, also each of the frames are all matched, but they have carved motifs that go with the season. So the spring has flowers, like, you know, it's like the corners and the centers kind of carved out, intricate flowers. The summer has suns. The autumn has leaves. The winter has snowflakes. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
That is a 13. Passive is 14, though.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, you can tell that all of this is like very well put together. This is made to be a gallery. It is made to be seen by people. You know, very specifically and expensively done. I'm going to go ahead and I think give you that. I think with a 14 and just your general knowledge of history, I think this is enough, even if like in IRL we're like, huh? You recognize as you look around that a bunch of these displayed items, not all of them, but several of them, match the descriptions of what Feifel told you were being offered as rewards to you if you guys succeed. The bag, the little green carved owl, the gauntlets, and the quiver were all things that were mentioned as possible rewards if you succeed.
Yes, well, if that is the case, then I suppose I have nothing more to ask about any of these particular items because, as wonderful as they are, I don't want to seem too invested in them.
Sure. No,
Cough, cough.
no, but you call these. You are able at this point. You have. We're doing faux, like status points in the back of my brain here for like whatever. You have charmed Lycoris. Like, you guys are friends. She will happily just kind of hang out with you, Cheddar. She will tell you about other stuff in the house if you want to just kind of wander around with her. She is at this point, like, she will also introduce you to people.
Okay.
She's not gonna be able to introduce you to like higher ups because she doesn't have the status. She will absolutely introduce you to all of her friends, which is the other staff. And if you have questions
But they're
about
gonna
the
know. Awesome.
house, like anything about the house, the architecture, the layout, anything like that, she will probably be more than happy to chat with you about that.
Actually, I do have one more question.
Yeah, go for it.
So I'm assuming that, unfortunately, with great status comes great admirers of the more envious sort. I'm assuming that would also create a need for security or a need to make sure that if anything comes, they might want to.
Well, I mean, under normal circumstances, the Lord and Lady, I think, are perfectly capable of taking care of themselves, as are the rest of us on staff. We all sort of have our own specialties, and no one's really going to bother us in general. For these parties, they do have to step things up a little bit. You met the wolves, I assume. They come on to make sure that the only people on site are people who have invitations. That way we can kind of keep track. We can't outright ban magic or anything. It's the Feywilds. Even if you tried, the wild magic surge could happen at any time if there's a magic storm and could throw everything off. But the Lord and Lady do place some subtle security measures. I'm sure they've got a handful of things that they use in their day-to-day guarding, their vaults and desks and stuff, but she will look around and make sure nobody is listening and then kind of lean in. You guys are currently the only ones in this room. And she will lean in and go, you know those statues that are all around the front and the ballroom, all of the little, like, dancing figures?
Yes, very vague and vogue.
They're methods. They can be summoned. If something goes wrong, then they can be summoned up. Otherwise, they just stay there in their stasis as decorations. It's really quite a clever system to not make anyone feel uncomfortable, but have a little bit of backup if something were to go horribly wrong. I think I've only ever seen them get activated once. There was a sort of a bar fight. There's not really a bar here, but that's the best way to describe the tenor of it. This was 20 years ago, when I was still the head of household. I had to activate a request for help, and Oren and his little brother Feifel, who is I think had barely started with us at that point. He was still just he was sort of a valet parking unicorns and things. They came in to help, and we had to act. And we watched the lady call the Mephits in to break up the fight. It was quite exciting. I don't wish to have it happen again, but
Oh, I can imagine. Better to be blending in than out of sight, out of mind.
absolutely. Would you like to see some of the rest of the house?
Oh, of course I would. Carry on, my wonderful tour guide.
She will start showing you around a little bit more of the house, and we are going to jump into the ballroom. Sloane, you get the next chance to move. You have just seen this crush of new people coming in. There's one of them, and you have spotted this intricately braided dwarven man with a date who is apparently your missing handler.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna message Gemma. And I'm gonna say, are you seeing what I'm seeing right now?
Yep.
Okay.
Just a bunch of minotaur things.
Oh my god!
Thank you, everybody, for joining us today.
We are West. Get your daily dose of.
Yeah.
Who's
my
the
God.
guy, though?
Does the dwarven man look familiar to me?
I would like
Or-
you...
Or
Yes.
does the do the tattoos or braids indicate anything about clan or aside from status, which I'm assuming you mean like high status?
Generally, status is like in dwarven culture, especially when you get up into upper echelons, there's basically like he's wearing ceremonial braiding that would be restricted to like a certain level of nobility or higher.
Great.
That's what I mean by status. You can certainly get some more specific information. Go ahead and give me. My impulse is to say perception, but if you want to pitch me another skill, history could also work.
I'm gonna go with perception because the number is higher.
That's fine. No, I'm giving whenever I give you options, like I'm gonna flavor it however it's flavored. I'm giving you options for picking the best number available to you.
Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna grab that perception.
Yeah, we're gonna say perception as you're trying to just get a better look at like what you can actually see.
21.
Great. 21. Sorry, I'm having to flip through a bunch of notes.
That's okay.
Great. The braiding in his beard indicates that he is probably I'm trying to think like he would be kind of the equivalent of like maybe like a baron or a duke, somewhere in that realm of nobility. Not a full like prince. These are not. These are also corollary. This is not exactly how dwarven structure works, but he's kind of at that level of status. Other things that you can tell from the braiding, because it's all written in the braiding structure. He is considered a general. He's like a high level warrior. He has that distinguishing note. Looking at the tattoos, you're not seeing he's doing the thing where he's like got like the really nice kind of like suit vest and the button-up shirt, a lot of little like flare items, but then he's got the sleeves rolled up to show off the muscles and a little bit of the tats. Nice. In a very deliberate sort of way. Most of the tattoos that are visible on his lower arms seem to be trophy tattoos. They would be the sort of thing that are indicating like successes in battle, successes in business, things like that. They're a little bit more generic, but show status. Just peeking out from under one sleeve as he kind of like turns at one point, like reaching, like handing something to his date or whatever, you get a little bit better glimpse of it. It is the sigil of Clan Axebreaker. And you know that Prisoner 13 was a member of Clan Axebreaker.
Yep.
Dun dun dun.
Prior to her shift in allegiance.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Okay. How far away from me are they right now?
If you guys are roughly where you are kind of in the map layout, they're kind of over here. They kind of got shoved over this way. So not super far. There's just a lot of people in here. You'd have to weave around, but you could get to them.
Oh, okay. Never
you
mind.
want to.
I was looking at the range on message, and it's
Oh, okay.
120 feet, so we're fine.
Oh yeah.
I thought
Easily.
it was shorter than that. I'm gonna dance a little bit closer over that direction.
Sure.
And I'm gonna shoot a message to Priscilla,
Okay.
and I'm gonna say, Priscilla, is that you? Raise your right hand and touch your hair if it's you.
Okay. Great. You shoot a message. Taz.
Good time. Taz is going to like grab your arm and be like, at the same time, triggering whatever she thinks the bracelet does, even though she knows she can't communicate. She doesn't know she can't communicate that way, and be like, "It's freaking Priscilla!"
Yeah, I know, I got it.
Is that good? Just everyone just hears that.
Anyone that she can possibly contact that way.
And the
Freaking
guy.
Priscilla.
I'm assuming I hear this as well.
Yeah, the group text lights up. Yes.
Yeah.
Starts popping up.
We're very fast and loose with the rules of message because it's much funnier for me.
Yeah.
There will be limitations when it also becomes funny for me to restrict it. Right now, it's hilarious to just have a group chat. From yes. So you hear this too. You get you just hear Taz in your head. It's freaking Priscilla.
Yeah, so she's got her eye on that and is gonna watch, perhaps see you making the move as your response is like, I got it.
Working on it.
She's like, fine, grumbling. So she has been given another task to kind of see where Eliphas is.
Yes.
So she's gonna just be like,
Yep.
and she will about face and start meandering towards what she believes to be the main bedroom.
Sure. As you are up here, you guys are no longer alone. There have been a few other guests that have drifted up here because they just want a little more quiet. There's definitely there's some people who are just kind of leaning and gazing. They look like they're doing kind of what you were looking like you were doing, which is just kind of seeing what's happening, people watching a little bit. There's definitely some folks who have tucked off into the corners to have a quick snog. As one does. The people who, for whatever reason, want to be discreet. There's a lot of people who are just doing it blatantly on the dance floor because that's fun for the gossip rags later. No one cares at a Feywild party. So there's a handful of people around. You see a couple of waiters have drifted up with, one has, the full platter of drinks. One has the empty platter to pick up glasses. So you see them kind of drifting through. You head your way over to the door that appears to be the master bedroom, which is this one here. You pop over, you try the door. This door is locked.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, she will stick her head
I'll
up
give
to
you a
the.
bardic inspiration before you leave.
Ooh, how exciting!
Take that with you.
Oh, thank you. She will want to listen at the door first to see if there's anything.
Yeah. Give me an active perception check.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a nat 20, baby.
Nat 20.
Nice.
For a 29.
You can see through walls and you can hear through them.
God, I love Taz when she is a 10.
You lean up to this door. You don't hear anything in this room. With a natural 20, I am going to say you hear the creaking of a door across the way and glance over and look, and you see that someone from the guest bedroom side has cracked the door, was starting to exit and then sort of stopped short. And so the door is open a little bit and you can see that someone is kind of in the doorway and is looking directly at you, kind of listening at the door.
If they have clocked that I've clocked them, great. So she's gonna turn and be like, "Oh, hi, sorry. Do you know where the restroom is?"
You don't have a circle
They
map at all.
will.
Me holding up her map. I can't tell where the restroom is.
That's okay. I have to also.
Oh no, I mean I know where the restroom is.
No, I know you don't. I don't remember. You see the door opens just a little bit more. There's sort of this, I don't know how you can see this map. There's sort of there's a couple of doors here. They're poking kind of through this door and have kind of leaned out into this little hallway area. They lean a little more. What you see is this huge, well-dressed man. He's got a close trimmed beard. He's got hair that is a little bit wavy and is kind of pulled back, but there's a little bit of the straggles that just aren't quite sitting and are pulled back into a little bit of a man bun at the nape of the neck. He is he's wearing a suit, but you can tell he's ripped and probably barely contained in this suit.
You don't say.
It's a very tense moment. He sort of just steps out a little more and he kind of goes, "Oh yes, the restroom. Well, if you there's a powder room right up that way," and he indicates up the hallway here. Or I was just taking a quiet moment in the dark here. There's a restroom here. If you'd like a little more privacy, you can come in and use this one.
Oh, sorry, I don't mean to disturb you.
No.
Are you
I
all
just
right?
touch of the headache was just sitting in the dark for a moment. Please, you're welcome to. What if you do? I can vacate too if you need a little bit of space. or
Oh
anything.
no, absolutely not. I wouldn't want to impose. You're already having so many guests in your home as it is.
Oh, yes. No. Terribly sorry. I don't recall if we have met. I'm Eliphas.
Pearl.
Oh, Pearl.
Yeah.
He's like, oh no, I have to pick a name.
Yeah. Oh, lovely to meet you. I'm a friend of Feifel's.
He's gonna look. You just see like the most subtle, just like little bit of an eyebrow raise and a head nod, and it's like, oh, yes, Feifel is a very dear assistant of mine. However, did you meet?
A friend of a friend. Brought us all together since it seemed like this was going to be a very entertaining event. Feifel thought we would have a really good time. My friend is a musician, actually. Was very excited to get in on the action.
Yes, of course. I'm sorry, I'm keeping you from the bathroom. Can I show you the amenities we have to offer here?
That would be lovely.
He will open the door fully and step back to let you very much. He is aware that he is a very large man and he is giving you the most amount of space to not seem like he's threatening or anything. But he will wave you into the guest bedroom.
Great.
Cool. You are now in here. Let me give you an Eliphas. I think I have.
The bullet's over there.
Oh god.
Grab the bullet.
I wish I had Minsk with me because that would feel very
Yes.
Here, you can have this. You can have this psycho.
Big guy.
I just need a big
That's a
dude.
meal.
It's a big dude. A big dude.
Not snack.
No, that's yes.
Full meal. 4 courses.
So I'm like, he's married. He's married.
I'm a married spud.
Great. You've come in there. Verity. Let's move on to you. These are.
Yes.
I apologize. This was meant to be very quick moving, and then everyone just has such good stuff, and I can't help myself. So
Oh, you're totally good. I haven't been pointing out to me that is Priscilla.
yes.
Yeah, I will watch and see if does Adira have a reaction to that.
Adira is not looking in the direction of
Okay.
Priscilla and her dwarven date.
I will noticing that Sloan and Gemma probably will get on that and fill me in. I'm going to see if Adira has spotted someone else that has come in and see where their attention is focused.
You may either go ahead and make me a perception because like people are moving, right? So there's the people will come into field of vision. You may either go ahead and make me another perception check to see if you can figure it out, or if you would like, you can warg into Siri.
I think
and
I'll
see if-
have Siri go in to see what Siri can see.
Great. Okay. And I will say you also saw like in the whole kerfuffle of it's frickin' Priscilla, you did see Sloan moving that direction
Yep,
and hear that
perfect.
acknowledgement. So you know that other people are like clocking that shit. Great. You work into Siri, who is still hovering by Adira, I presume, for the time
Yeah.
being. Great. Siri is kind of like right over Adira's shoulder watching. And you see that as Adira's kind of like very much tensed up, she seems to be looking at a group that has come in together that is one half-elven man
Okay.
who has 2 ladies on his arm, looks like a human woman and a woman of some elven descent, not quite sure what flavor. There's a lot of elves here, so
Sure.
and again, everyone's wearing like glamours and shit. But you see the 3 of them, they have definitely come in as a unit. Like this is like dude with a lady on each arm. They're like striking the like up on the shoulders, up on the arm, like very much like hello, we are a power throuple. And they're sort
Do
of
they have an Instagram husband? That's
weirdly they don't have their phone out, which is wild. Because they definitely look like they're posing. But they are kind of like scanning around, and you see through Siri that Adira sort of like raises the ring hand and sort of like gives a little like hello wave to them, but with the back of their hand turned, not the way you would really like, a little bit of a beckon, a little bit.
so they
it's
can
kinda
see
weird.
like the ring.
clearly flashing the ring.
Okay.
And is trying to kind of get their attention as they're all doing like they're doing that like slightly creepy like just like everybody's like synchronized scanning the room. It would be very cool if it wasn't incredibly unsettling.
Yeah.
You do kind of, if you watch for a moment, you do see that as they kind of come back on the second pass, they just like instantly clock. All three of them, just the hands go up and go like simultaneously, and then they just like move as a unit toward Adira's table. They're having to like weave around the crowd, but it is functioning as a unit. like again, this could be very cool. It's actually kind of unsettling.
I
Yeah.
am picturing the Sanderson sisters.
That's exactly what I was picturing. Yes. If the Sanderson sisters were like hot Scandinavian models, that's kind of what we've got going. But they are moving as best they can, working their way through the crowd and around the crowd. This episode is unhinged, and I apologize.
No, don't apologize. It's amazing.
Great. You've got a moment before they're gonna get into like earshot or anything.
Okay.
Gemma. You're on the floor. You've made friends with everybody. Everybody knows you've got the good
Absolutely.
stuff, and you've blocked Priscilla and this dwarven man kind of over.
Yeah, I don't have like a good Sloane's working on it. So I want to like dance my way closer
Sure.
in case needed. Maybe in like, I don't know, some eavesdropping range. Is she interacting with anyone specifically, or does she just seem to be like
She and her date are very like
though.
they are like when you're with somebody at a party and you're sort of like casual chatting to each other, but you're trying to sort of face out and be open to talking to other people. It's that sort of thing. There's like that little quiet, like the lean down to like listen to him or to talk to him. But they're mostly just sort of, they're doing a lot of the like scan the room sort of situation. And they're kind of keeping themselves tucked out of the main
Great.
crowd.
In that case, I am watching for the moment when Priscilla either notices or hears whatever Sloane's doing. Moment when Priscilla clocks Sloane, or if she seems to clock, you're not in the room, you're both upstairs. Me or like anyone else specifically in the the room. If she like, even just a pause.
No, that's great. Can you go ahead and give me a perception check, active perception check? I'm going to let you do this with advantage.
Yeah.
Because of what you have specifically declared that you are doing, and because of actions that your party members have taken.
16.
16. Cool. You're working your closer. You're very much like life of the partying, like making your way around people, hey, vibing, but keeping that eye out. You see, as this little like side chat conversation is happening with the date, you do see a moment when there is just, it's a blink and you would have missed it moment of just like, she just sort of like pauses. It's almost, it's like seeing that like little like restart moment. And I think the thing that probably cues you to it is there is a brief flicker of her concentration breaking, and you see her real eye color pop through, which is this like really pale blue behind the like lavender. She recovers very quickly. She leans in and says something into her date's ear. And you see that he stiffens just a little bit. Again, it's the same sort of thing of like he almost like breaks for a second and then is like, nope, keep it together.
Right.
But you see that moment of just like him getting really stiff for a second and then visibly reminding himself to be relaxed and casual.
Sloane, they clocked you.
They have not moved. They're not like making any movement. They're continuing to like chat, but there seems they have clearly caught something.
Finger guns over there.
Yeah, very Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. In that case, I want to be close enough that if I don't think there will be an issue, but that if there is an issue, I can
Yeah,
drag Sloane out of it.
you make your way over. You find the orc date of the very drunk half-elven woman. He has now been divested of his date. She is now our insight, and he now seems to be a little more relaxed. His tie is a little loosened, and he seems to be grooving with one of the minotaurs and with a halfling. They've just got like a little bro dance party going, and they just like
Cute.
wave you in, and everybody just
Yay.
start you guys are just over in the corner just having a vibe moment.
Sorry, Chaz.
She has no idea what you're doing, really.
Just gonna have such a wild
Ruining my name, but also giving me an alibi? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure my image will be completely intact.
I have my dignity, probably.
Um,
Kaz never had that. Don't worry about it.
Healy, let's circle back around to you really
Gotta
quick.
have it to begin with.
I'm going to give you a quick rundown of some of the other things that you have just kind of spotted along the way as you're getting a little bit of this tour, and you can stop me if there's anything you want more info on from Horus, or if you want to engage with anything else. She's going to start with just taking you kind of along this bottom floor, right? So she walks you along here. You've seen the art gallery where you've clearly clocked some stuff. As she walks you past that first room, she points this out to you. This is the parlor. There's just this is kind of just like a more quiet, chill room. It is a room where people who are too drunk go to sit sober up. It is a place where people who need to shoot up go to have a quiet corner to do that with a seating area. It is a place where business deals are made. It's a place where people pass out. It's just the quieter, more low-key corner of this. And at any given time, there are people sleeping, there are people making huge, earth-shattering political deals, and there are people just straight up snorting coke.
Very coke.
Just the full spectrum of inhumanity happening.
Sometimes all at once.
Yeah, sometimes it's all happening at the same time.
It's more likely than you'd think.
Yeah. You move along this front area here, you come to the other side.
If you're addicted to fairy coke, stop. Get some help.
Kids, don't do drugs. We make a joke about this because this isn't a real thing. I do not endorse this. Just have to say that legally. My lawyer is probably sitting at this table, honestly. She moves you to the other side of this thing. This other big room on the other side here, she shows you, is the banquet hall. There are two big long tables that are just covered in a bunch of food. In addition to the waiters who you have kind of walking around, ordering stuff, these are just it's like buffet style. There's just all these big tiered trays of snacks. There's a lot of them seem to be very winter festive themed specifically in here. So there's the savory table that's got the big roast and the beautiful potatoes and big greens and everything like that. And then the other side is all sweets. So there's gingerbread and sugar cookies and sugar plums and all these sorts of things. Just picture any traditional holiday food from any particular, ethnic or geographic background. It's here on one of these tables, divided into sweet and savory. There's also a handful of people in here who have sat down. There's areas where you can have more of a sit-down meal if you need it, but it's not a served dinner or anything because Alondra doesn't want to do clocks.
Clocks suck.
Yeah, and you see sporadically that a couple of... I'm trying to find them. You see that there are actually a couple of sprites that are fluttering over the tables, explaining the food to people. If people are asking about allergies or just want to know about why things are here. You also see a couple of satyrs and a couple of pixies that keep busting in and out through some doors at the backside of the room. And Oris will tell you that leads into the kitchen. The kitchen is run by Anisetta, who is also a dryad. She is the head chef. She takes this ball very seriously. She considers it a personal slight to her reputation if anyone does not enjoy the food or their time here. She is very aggressively about making sure that everyone loves everything about this night or else.
I'm imagining the cook from Clue at this point.
Yeah, you're not off. That's pretty good. That's pretty good vibes.
Going to serve monkey brains.
That is what you see down here. Is there anything you want to follow up on down here, or do you want to let her take you upstairs to continue kind of the general tour?
Let's... Party wants to see what's up with the Priscilla situation, but at the same time, if I suddenly duck out now, I'm wondering how that's going to look. So I will continue with the tour, especially because that might give me some good, useful info.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you want to go, like, it would not be difficult to just be like, hey, let's go back and see what's happening in the main party, and that would be fine. But if you want to continue on, she will take you upstairs and kind of show you around that.
Sure, let's go with that.
Great. She's going to take you upstairs, where you're going to make it to the balcony. And for now, we will leave you there. You will clock Verity, who is kind of standing over the railing. Probably looks like he's just casually standing at the railing watching things. Although if you get close enough, you will see that his eyes are kind of glazed over and his like death gripping the railing a little bit. Because that's how he's making sure that he doesn't fall over and look like an idiot.
Aggressively, casually.
Yeah.
Casual aggression.
Yeah.
Casually aggressive, aggressively
aggressively
casual. All of the above. Sloane, you sent the message. At this point, I will let you give me an active perception check.
Okay. Wow.
Oh, wow.
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 Oh, wow. 22.
Yeah,
Sorry, my brain was like, trying to do the math.
right?
No, math is hard.
22.
Yes, 22, baby.
With the 22, even without having the additional advantage, which is because of location and everything going on, you also clock those little like blips. You probably don't see the eye color change because I think you're just at a little bit too much of a distance. You definitely notice the like posture shift in the dwarf when she leans down and talks to him. This is right after you send the message that this exchange happens.
And she doesn't do anything.
She does not signal you in the way indicated, but there is clearly a like physical reaction from both of them.
Okay.
Her immediately after it happens, him immediately after she whispers in his ear.
Okay. I don't know what to do with that.
Jeez, and it's the fuzz.
Yes,
I think-
Sloane the cop.
Sloane, famously a lover of cops. In case anyone's wondering before it comes up, everyone who works in this household has an excellent pension plan provided by their employer.
Oh my god. Yeah, Sloane is like, okay, and starts moving towards them.
Great, yeah. You're just moving to that side.
Yep. And we'll go up to them and say in Dwarvish to the dwarf, like
Yeah.
perfect Dwarvish.
Oh, absolutely.
Beautiful, intricate accent is perfect Dwarvish. Hello, I don't believe we've met. My name is Ace Coil. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. And then in very, very, very bad Elvish.
Yeah.
Horrible. You could...
Like, inflection's wrong.
very wrong.
like-
Maybe insulting. And you, lovely dress there. I'm very curious to know, did you go to Glitz? And just try to like strike
Yeah.
up a conversation.
You see both of them like just immediate, like very friendly smiles and whatever. He holds out his hand and I switch to my tab where I have the thing. Oh my god, where did it go? The constant bane of my existence. The dwarf kind of holds out his hand for a shake and is just like, yes, hello, Ace, nice to meet you. I am Elric. Pleasure to see you. You are here. You are friends of the Lord and Lady?
Friends of the house staff, actually.
Yes, I have heard very good things about Adulars and how they try to level playing field between the highs and lows of staff. Very good of them. Is noble pursuit. Yes, wonderful. He offers you a hand, shakes it. Very, very firm handshake.
Very nice. Yes. I work in the field of talent management, and I'm very, very honored to be amongst such talented people. The illusion magic here is very good, beautiful. It almost looks familiar in some ways.
Yes, we were just saying that they seem to have really outdone themselves from previous years, from what I have been told of previous years. This is first time for me coming. You as well?
Yes, I've heard the same about previous years, that this is just miles beyond what it has been in the past, and I don't know, it's magical. I mean, it is magical, but...
No, I understand meaning, yes. This whole conversation is, of course, happening in Dwarvish.
Yes.
As you are saying this, as he is responding or whatever, where is it? You're kind of guessing, like, Priscilla is, like, nodding along. It is very much... externally would definitely give off that look of like the date who does not speak the language and is just trying to be polite but doesn't know what's happening. You are pretty certain that she does in fact, she is following every part of this conversation.
Cool. Great.
For sure.
Does it look like anybody else around us is listening in on the conversation, or like they are... I don't know what I'm asking. I'm asking if people can understand us.
There are probably people around who understand you. It doesn't look like... Quickly, what's your passive perception?
Yeah, good question. I think I'm trying to get a feel for, like, is Dwarvish something that, like, you don't typically hear at parties like this? My passive perception is 15.
Okay. Dwarvish is certainly not one of the more common languages being spoken, especially given you're in the Feywilds. There's a lot of common, a lot of Elvish, a lot of Sylvan, handful of other smattering of languages. Dwarvish is not common. It does not seem to be drawing an undue attention. There might be some people who have kind of like noticed the tonal shift, but nobody seems to be actively eavesdropping, except maybe Taz, who is dancing.
Can't understand a damn thing.
But
listening.
But is like, but keeps looking over to like, you know, do I need to punch? Do I need to do a thing? Like, what's
do I need to punch?
I know
Sloan
punch
is
is
a
not
cop,
but
and Gemma is a puncher.
Yeah,
Good cop, bad cop.
totally.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a cop and a puncher.
it's also opposite day here on the channel.
We are in the Feywild, so there is that.
A very important question, because I know we've established you're wearing a glitz custom suit that is detailed to show off parts of your outfit.
Yes.
Are you wearing your bracelet, and is it visible?
Oh.
I know this is obviously a question that I should have asked you at the beginning of the night before you knew what was going down, but this is the point when it becomes relevant, so I'm going to leave it to you if you think that would have been something you would have stashed or not.
Yeah, I think the jacket that Sloan is wearing would cover, and then also the gauntlets from the armor. So I think it's hidden under the jacket.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Just checking, since that is very clearly of dwarven make.
Yeah. Totally. I mean, it's very clear, like that.
I think other aspects of your stuff very clearly have that dwarven make as well.
influence. Yeah. Okay. So I'm making polite conversation, and then we'll say, in common. I'm so sorry. I so rarely get to speak Dwarvish with a dwarf. Of course, they come in and out of the talent agency, but here, it's such a robust language, and Elven just never fit quite right on my tongue. Would you care to dance? And do you mind if I dance with your date?
Who are you trying to grab? You're trying to grab
Priscilla.
Priscilla. I gotta roll for this one.
I'll dance with the other one.
They do a very quick glance to each other, and then he just very graciously like holds her hand out to you. Just like, yes, of course. You have a good time. I shall get drinks. Yes, you like drink. You like drink. Yes, I shall be right back. Enjoy music. This DJ is popping.
Agreed.
And, you see that he kind of steps back, lets you lead. She lets you kind of lead her. Not like there's really an on to the dance floor, but like a couple steps away from the tables to where you can boogie. You see that he kind of fades back. He does not go to get drinks. He is right the fuck there. Like watching everybody's move. Taz.
Yep.
You have stepped into this. It is dark, not in a spooky way. It is dark in a migraines way.
I mean, that's
Guest room.
Taz's favorite lighting, frankly.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you kind of step in here. He kind of glances back out in the hallway. No one immediately follows you. He shuts the door, and moves away from it again, being very non-threatening in his language and making sure you have a clear line of escape. And then just goes, yes, so the bathroom is that way. And then just sort of like you know, like carrying on the pleasantries, but also just sort of like pauses and kind of looks at you now that you're alone and a little isolated.
Yeah, thanks. Are we okay to chat here?
We should be safe. The door obviously is unlocked. We provide this as an area. If you would like me to lock it or put other protections up so that we can speak privately, I'm happy to do so.
No, I nothing too strenuous. As I think you've perceived, my friends and I were invited to help assist with a problem we've heard is happening with the lady of the house.
You must be here through Feifel's exhortation on my behalf.
Yes.
I am, of course, Eliphas Aguilar.
Yes.
Thank you for answering my call. What can I do for you?
Well, practically speaking, if we are going to assist with this, there's a couple of questions that I have, ranging from large to small. We've heard there's been some changes in your wife's behavior. I was wondering if you could tell us anything more about exactly how she is acting differently.
Well, my wife is one of the kindest people you would ever meet. Not necessarily a quality you would expect from a former adventuress, but I think her adventures shaped her into expecting a lot from people, believing in them. And lately she's been cold, distant, and honestly, this is an impolite way to saying it, stupid compared to what I would expect of her. Her attitude has been petty and selfish, and I am now convinced that she is not herself. Quite literally, I think my wife has been replaced with another creature or being.
Oh.
This is not my area of magical expertise, although I do have some magic of my own, but given my experiences with this sort of thing, I believe the woman currently out on the grounds behaving as my wife may be a simulacrum. Are you familiar with the simulacrum? I think like
Christy's not in this context.
You can roll for it if you want. I think Taz probably has at least
Nat 20.
Dude!
Are you kidding?
for the third nat 20 of Christie's night.
Oh my god, just die.
Taz, you took an elective in not college.
In thief school.
Yeah. You
You stole one of Stuart's wizard books.
Yes. You one time when you pickpocketed Stuart, you got a whole pamphlet on the dangers of simulacrum. A simulacrum is essentially like a construct that is created that replicates a creature. It is generally created from a pile of ice or snow and then becomes an exact facsimile of that creature. It can do a lot of the things that creature can do if it is imbued with magic. It does not have as many hit points as they do, however. Lucky for you.
Yay.
And it is usually following kind of almost like a programmed set of commands to a certain point. They're very commonly used by wizards as a great way of creating essentially a body double that can absorb damage but also cast spells on their behalf. They can do magic. They can fight. They can speak in a variety of languages. They, one might say, mechanically have very similar but modified statistics to the creature that they are meant to replicate.
Sure. Okay.
Very pertinently, on Nat 20, I'm just giving you a bunch of lore drop. A simulacrum cannot create a simulacrum of themselves. Just FYI. The simulacrum cannot cast the simulacrum spell.
No inceptioning simulacrums.
Correct.
Great.
I just wanted to get that one out of the way now before we got too deep into the conspiracies, because I know the way you guys play this game.
Oops. We've got a whole other session.
Can
we
it
can go real
create
deep.
3 more wishes, though?
No.
Can it wish for 3 more wishes?
Unfortunately, neither it nor Zorhana are high enough level to have wish.
No.
Ah, beans.
She's pretty high, but she's not that high.
That's what I was afraid of. Great. So do you suspect that she is no longer with us? We're under the impression that she tried on her necklace for a fitting and then hasn't taken it off. Is it possible that something occurred during that fitting?
I don't know how much Feifel was able to tell you or how much you might already know about a shard solitaire. Many of them contain their own magical powers and potency, and I do believe that it is possible that all shard solitaires have dimensional rifts contained inside of them. That is what makes it a shard solitaire. It is my belief that perhaps the shard solitaire or something inside of it has the power to create the simulacrum and has used that to replace my wife for its own ends.
Okay. Yeah.
I do not know if that means she is living or dead. I would hope she is living somewhere.
Of course.
But I am more concerned now with the safety of these guests in my home if some greater plan is afoot that revolves around my home being filled with very powerful people from all across the plains.
Yeah, gathered in one particular place with, I would say, a pretty sparkly theme to boot.
It's quite well known and would certainly be the sort of thing that would catch the attention of entities across the realms, such as might have access to a shard solitaire. This has never been... We have always known this was potentially an unstable item. That is why we keep it separate from the rest of our, well, her treasures that we keep on display. She keeps it safely locked in her vault. I can tell you the location. I unfortunately do not have access. We thought it was safest if we limited access to as few as possible. She has it. She, I'm sure, has a failsafe, but I do not know what that is. I can tell you all about the security system and where to find it.
I would love all of that information.
He reaches into his pocket and pulls out a key and hands it to you.
Yeah.
Taz is like, well, there's the fun gone.
If you want to pick the lock, that's fine. It's not going to explode or anything. I just figured this was faster. more
No,
subtle.
yeah. It'll save me a couple of,
not trying to be weird. I really love this vibe. I don't know what you're pretending to be, but it's great.
Thank you. It might spin into a whole new career for me. Things are going pretty good tonight. Depending on how much booty grinding my other half is doing.
Oh, there's a lot of booty grinding happening downstairs, I'm sure.
I don't know if anybody's gonna catch it, but we do have a guy following her around with the camera, so.
I mean, I'm not scrying on it, but I kind of want to, because I don't really want to be there, but I would love to know what's happening.
I mean, those Minotaurs came in and the whole vibe
Minotaurs
changed.
came! Yes!
Yeah, it is popping downstairs. I don't know what to tell you.
Ooh, if any of them stay the night, maybe we can go hunting tomorrow. Great. That sounds fabulous.
Well, they're probably gonna get, a little rip roaring later, so I bet they're gonna be real jazzed tomorrow.
Yes, so many drugs happening. Zorhana's vault is hidden beneath the pool of frigid water in her bathroom. Which our bath. I don't know. She's like, no one ever looks in the bathroom. I'm like, sweetheart, everyone looks in the bathroom. She doesn't believe me.
Bizarrely enough, you've really hired the right crowd for hiding things in bathrooms.
I have to know if that. You can answer this in the afterlife.
Yes.
I have to know if that was written in the module.
Great. The vault is guarded by a golem that takes the form of the statue of a reindeer that sits over the pool.
Okay.
If you attempt to access the vault, it will attack you. Only Zorhana can get past it.
Okay.
It recognizes her on sight.
Okay.
There is also a 3-letter combination to open the vault. I don't know what that is. Again, in retrospect, realizing maybe this was a flaw in the plan. But also, like, who the first person they suspect when the wife goes missing is the husband, so I see why I'm the last person who would have the backup code, right?
Maybe. I'm not judging.
I will also say I love my wife dearly. She's getting on in years. She's about 600 now. She's probably got something hidden somewhere that, like, I don't think it's as easy as a post-it under the laptop, but know the equivalent.
No, she's definitely got a parchment in like a book or something like
She's
that.
got something as a backup,
Okay.
just in case something happens to her and I were to need to try to find it or
Sure.
something. I don't know what that is. Also, have you noticed weird shit happening on the walls? Great. Okay, well, keep an eye out, because as I've been walking around tonight, I thought I was having a migraine, and now I'm starting to wonder if it's something else, because every time I walk past a corner or a wall, I just get these weird iridescent flashes, like the walls are cracking and crumbling apart, and then when I look at it directly, it goes away.
Oh. That sounds
That's just a
familiar.
migraine.
I mean, that is a migraine.
Yeah, I was just saying, might be a visual migraine, might be having something to do with my wife. Could not tell you. That's why I
Okay.
came in here to sort of like
Okay.
settle down.
Am I losing it? That's
That's an aura, with like a migraine with aura.
no.
We know the migraine
No,
effect.
I know that. I was having one about an hour ago. But no, was that something that we've talked about in this game, or am I
think so.
hallucinating? No. Am I thinking of a different game?
Maybe.
There may or may not have been something very similar that was happening, I think, at a point in our Strixhaven game. This is a different thing, but I probably described it the
Feels
same
nearer
way.
than that, but that's okay. Never mind. Great. The walls. The walls are cracking. Maybe I'm just thinking about Doctor Who.
Oh, I love Doctor Who. Have you caught up on the latest episode?
I have. Don't get me started.
We'll talk about it in the afterthought.
Great. Spoilers.
I'm one
They
more.
added one of my favorite actors. Okay.
Anyway,
So yes,
that
great.
is my, I think the children call it an info dump.
I did have one other question.
Yes, of course.
Where'd she get the necklace?
She stole it from a coven of hags in her ill-spent youth as an adventuress.
Okay, so she also does it. You don't know exactly where she got it from. I thought if anybody might know, you guys might have gabbed about it over, whiskey in the fire pit.
What she has told me in some of her more drunken moments is that it was a coven of night hags known as the Crestfall Coven. I believe they were primarily located on the material plane, but they're hags, and to be perfectly blunt, I don't fuck with that shit.
Absolutely. I mean, that's wild to me given where you live at the moment, but that's, everybody has their own tolerance levels for shenanigans.
I was a warrior in my youth. I worked my way up to sort of military strategy and inventing. I like to tinker. I like to work with my hands. I like to run naked through the woods and just like feel the full force of nature. I'm getting a little that.
I love him.
Sorry, was that too much information? It's been a weird couple of weeks.
No, that's fine. I mean, it does get me a little curious about how you guys met.
Do you really have to ask after what I just said?
I mean, I assume you guys were running through, like, frolicking through a forest together accidentally, but I don't want to make any assumption.
I was running naked through the woods, feeling the wind in my fur. She tried to shoot me. I had to be like, whoa, whoa. Not what you think. And then she was like, oh shit, you're hot. And we sort of hooked up.
Okay, so it was kind of what I assumed, but, you know, it's fun. Yes.
Oh, boy.
The fur. No, we've all been there.
You know what? This is we're very out of pocket for this module, but I'm gonna let you have this one because like this is stupid as fuck. Go ahead and give me I don't know insight. Like what is
Oh.
10.
honestly that's kind of all
Oh.
you.
What was that, a D8?
Yeah.
Oh,
17.
17. You look at this incredibly large, ripped man. You look at his suit that is barely containing him. You look at his flowing locks. And you just go, oh, this dude's a fucking bear. Literally.
Literally a bear.
Welcome to Honey Heist, everybody.
Next week,
Yeah.
we take a full left turn. Great.
He looks at Taz, realizes she's also a bear.
Everyone is bear.
Everyone's a bear in a hat. Yeah, so that's
Oh, no.
that's well, you know, maybe I've gotten a little too personal.
You know, sorry, I've been dealing with a lot. I've had to keep a lot of secrets. I think it's all just sort of spilling over in a way that feels very inappropriate, and I apologize if I'm putting too much on you.
I've caught you in a vulnerable moment, and I do need private information from you.
Yeah.
In order to assist you with this. It's, you know, it's
Truly, love of Palor. I wish I had like some actual passcodes and things to give you. I do not.
that's
so.
all right. Do you know your wife's current location?
I do. I just have to flip to the correct page to tell you what it is. I would presume, since I haven't heard the uproarious applause of her appearance in the balcony, that she is probably lounging in some dark corner of the parlor. If it was my actual wife, I would assume indulging in something. Given that I don't think it's my actual wife, no idea what the fuck she's doing.
All right. That's perfectly acceptable.
You exchange this little bit of information. You take a moment to process everything you've learned. We're gonna just take a little bit longer to get through the rest of this turn order. We're almost to time. We're gonna run a little late, and I'm sorry. I'll let you all go from the after. You've been watching this insanely synchronized throuple of Swedish models move their way through the ballroom to Adira's location. They all approach. They simultaneously sidle up to the table, synchronized, hands on the table, look. And you're able to hear through Siri as well.
I think so.
Great.
I could double check the spell. Because I don't know if it works differently if it's an invitation.
That's fine. Look, we've hit that point of the night, folks.
You can see and hear. I can hear what it hears. Yeah.
They all walk up. They put their hands on the table in perfect unison.
Oh no.
Oh, never good.
And you hear them all say, "Well, have you found it yet?" given how loopy we are, that is in fact how we're going to end this. We are at time. I'm so sorry, Gemma. We will pick back up at this.
No, it's good.
Nobody has to stay because we're all losing our minds, but I think we want to go immediately into an after dark if we can. We'll chat about things for like a hot minute if anyone has a bit we can. Anyway, end matter for a formal end to this episode. Maybe not. I'll wing it. Thank you for watching. We will be back, I think. Oh, maybe not. We may be back this Saturday with Call of Cthulhu, and if not, then we will be starting very.
Ren gave a thumbs up.
Yes, we will be back this weekend, this Saturday, with Call of Cthulhu with the Great Dane Society. Following that will be the beginning of our fantastic starter set summer school. So stay tuned for that. We will be back, hopefully with a little more sleep next Monday to finish up this episode of Golden Fault, where we got both everything and nothing done. Thank you, everybody. This is as much on me as on you. I'm so sleep deprived as well. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Thank you to our lovely patrons for providing coins and bits. Thank you to our chat members who also provided bits. We really appreciate you. Please follow us on our socials. Hop in our Discord. Look out for our giveaways where we'll be giving away copies of all the starter sets that we will be playing. We're going to play a lot of starter sets that are new to us this summer to demo things. We are rapidly racing toward the conclusion of Golden Vault. We only have 5 episodes left before we finish the book. GDS will be going on hiatus for the summer while folks are out of town and working, but then we'll be returning in the fall to wrap up that game as well. Support us this week by leaving a comment on one of your favorite videos on our YouTube. Subscribe if you haven't. Recommend us to your friends. All of the traditional things that we exhort you to do on social media, because the algorithm is our god and determines whether we keep the lights on or not. Thank you and good night. Good night.